My 32F husband 34M spit on me today. Is this forgivable? I don't know what to do. We got in a really weird fight this morning. I just need to describe what happened and see what people think. A little background info. My husband is really irritable in the mornings when he wakes up. He's just not a morning person. Whatever. Well, today was his day off from work, so I was expecting him to sleep in. I was up early with our baby around 7 a.m., changing her diaper, and I noticed he was awake, surprisingly. We sometimes sleep in separate rooms because of the baby. She's little, so she sleeps in our bedroom still and wakes up a few times during the night. So if he wants to sleep in the next day, he'll sleep in a separate room so he doesn't get woken up. Anyway, he seemed to be in a good mood. So I went to his room and we started chatting. We sang some songs with the baby. Everything was good and happy. Then I went and made some coffee and played with the baby for a bit, getting ready to start my workday. Here's where the fight starts. I went back to his room to ask him if he could pick up a few things at the grocery store later today, since he was planning on running some errands. As I'm talking with him, I farted. I didn't even think twice about it, it just came out. Well, he just suddenly became irate. Furious. It really set him off. I apologized. I realize it was rude. It just happened without thinking. But he just kept screaming and repeating himself over and over and saying how disgusting I am. He insisted I leave his room so he could go back to sleep. This is where I messed up. I just cannot stand it when someone is mad at me. I was so upset and felt like I just couldn't go on with my day with us ending our interaction like that. I started begging him to not be mad at me and crying and pleading with him to let me into his room. He was furious and just kept screaming for me to leave him alone. This went on for a few minutes, then he left his room and huffed and puffed up the stairs to go to the main bedroom. I was standing on the stairs crying, asking him why he was being so mean. Why couldn't he just forgive me? And that's when it happened. He leaned over the stair railing and spit on me. This has never happened before. I was so upset. I got all crazy and said I was going to call the police on him because spitting on me is basically assault. I shouldn't have done that, because I was never really going to call the police. I just wanted him to get into his head that it's never okay to spit on someone. Anyway, we finally just left each other alone because our nanny was about to get here, and I needed to start my workday. Unfortunately, I'm obviously having a hard time concentrating, and so I came on Reddit for advice. I don't know what to do. He has this wild temper where things just set him off. And I have this problem where I can't stand someone being mad at me. I admit I was rude and annoying, but I don't deserve to be spit on. But where do I go from here? There's a difference between a fight and him getting mad over nothing at all. He sleeps in a separate room because he can't be bothered to be woken up by his child. He spit on you over nothing at all. That behavior is absolutely unacceptable, and he's absolutely a jerk. He spit on you because you're human, all humans have to toot. Frankly, changing his mood that quickly is an indication of a deeper problem within his mind. Him spitting on you isn't the problem here, it's that he does not respect you or care for you as much as he should, and that is not forgivable. What advice would you give your daughter, if she came to you and told you this story? Wait. An accidental fart in your own home is inexcusable and disgusting, but him purposely spitting on you is okay? Please leave this environment. You and your child deserve better. What the fuck? Farting isn't rude, that's your husband, for God's sake. I mean, in public it'd be different, but good lord. Your husband has issues and you are definitely not the problem here, sis. How dare he shame you for something that everyone does? He needs his ass beat for spitting on you. WTF lol, your relationship sounds pretty toxic. Spitting on someone is pretty inexcusable. Your behavior sounds like a mild annoyance compared to his. He needs to see someone about his temper. That's not normal. Huge red flags. Spitting on someone is disgusting. I would seriously leave. How long before you are saying, he punched me but he's never done it before? This is who you want modeling adult male behavior for your kid, huh? Gonna teach them women are garbage and should beg and plead not to be yelled at instead of just telling him that shit is unacceptable and it stops or he can GTFO. Sounds like a great lesson for your child to grow up learning to me. Sure. He has this wild temper where things just set him off. And I have this problem where I can't stand someone being mad at me. Well, that's a bad combination. Can you elaborate on his wild temper? What kinds of things does he do to lash out? Has he ever sought out professional help for this temper? If he's not willing to work to improve his unacceptable behavior, or if it doesn't improve even if he does try, then you'd be better off ending the relationship. 1. Farting is normal. 2. Spitting on other humans is not acceptable. That's legit assault. There's no excuse for assaulting your partner. I was going to call the police on him because spitting on me is basically assault. Correct. Do that right now. It will make your divorce and custody hearings go more smoothly for you. Huge power imbalance in this relationship. You're apologizing for him being mad. Location flag galore. Was in same situation. I'd consider divorce at this point. Find a partner who will high-five you after a good fart. The question in the title, is this forgivable? The answer is absolutely not. Respect yourself. Imagine your child in the future coming to you in tears after an incident like this. What would you say to them? I imagine it would break your heart and you would advise them to end the relationship. This man is utterly unreasonable and unpredictable. So what, you farted and then got upset when he got angry? You're married. You have a child together. You are not disgusting and you and your child both deserve better. Run. Now. It wasn't the fart that caused this. He has problems and what he did was physical abuse. On a side note, when I've farted in front of a partner we just laughed because we're immature AF. What he did was completely disgusting. If your daughter's spouse spit on them and abused them, what would you do? This is abuse. Please start by packing up your things with your kid and go somewhere safe. Don't forget your important documents. If you can't get those without him knowing, have someone get your daughter and request a police escort to gather up your docs before leaving. Pardon my French, but WTF. Spit on you? Got angry at you for farting? Jesus Christ. Is this real life? You need to leave immediately. There is no coming back from this. Wow. This is outright abuse. What's next? Pulling your hair? Smacking you on the face? Pushing you down the stairs? You need to address this with him urgently in the most constructive way possible, since it is a threat to your relationship and well-being. You have to find out if this was just a one-time thing or if you're exposing yourself and your child to something potentially dangerous. Huge red flag. He sounds toxic AF. Counseling or divorce? Divorce probably better, cause he doesn't sound like he'll change. What the actual duck? $1,000 says he'll gaslight the hell out of this and make it your fault too. That is ducking inexcusable. Take the kid and go somewhere. Let him know this is despicable, vomitable behavior. This is one of the largest forms of disrespect, to spit on somebody. He doesn't respect you. Get out. I would bet money he had plans for the day. You asking him to run to the store would mess up his plan. My wife is not a morning person. If she ever gets mad at me over little things like that, it's because she is a cheater. I found this out after the fact. Be vigilant, be safe. When I toot in front of my boyfriend, he laughs, ruffles my hair, and teases me. Your husband flies off the handle, screams at you until you're hysterically crying, doesn't stop when he sees how upset you are, then spits on you and walks away. Girl, he is not the one. Reading this made me sick to my stomach for you. This is not normal behavior, it's a sickening display of rage and abuse. Personally, I would not continue this marriage unless he agreed to some couples therapy and anger management for him. You do not want to show your child that this is acceptable behavior, to treat someone or to be treated by someone. I'm talking with him. I farted. I didn't even think twice about it, it just came out. Well, he just suddenly became irate. Furious. It really set him off. I apologized. I realize it was rude. It just happened without thinking. He is out of order. Would he be angry for any other normal human function? This is a huge flag. Your husband has issues. He assaulted you for farting and has you so conditioned that you apologized for something everyone, including your husband, does. Is he going to spit on your child when they fart too? spit on. You. Spit on. You. Did you read what you wrote? No ma'am, that is not okay. That shows a blatant disregard for humanity there. A high school boyfriend spit on me when I was about 16. I still consider it one of the lowest, most disrespectful things anyone has ever done to me. I'm 36 now and with a partner who wouldn't dream of spitting on me or at me. His behavior is disgusting. You don't deserve it, I don't deserve it, and your child doesn't, most of all. Please, please leave him. There is no redemption for him. I've accidentally farted in front of my husband and he doesn't get mad at me. He usually laughs it off. In fact, I've accidentally farted on my husband and he didn't get mad. Your husband is being abusive. Sounds like you should take your baby and flee. He is not safe. What kind of fucked up guy is this? Lawyer up because you're going to have a divorce the way things are going. Fun fact, most women have human digestive systems, with intestines and a rectum and all that. You should be able to fart in your own home. That's not even rude, unless you were spooning and farted directly on him. Please listen to all these comments. He's bad news and he's going to continue hurting you emotionally, and presumably physically soon. And both are really bad. You and baby deserve so much more. I'll put it this way. I adore my wife more than anyone in the whole world. If I did this, she would never forgive me. That should say it all. Unless it's a consensual sex thing, spitting on someone has no place at all in adult life. My boyfriend will fart on me. Like, 1 second he's super adorable laying on me with his head on my chest while I play with his hair, then the next second he'll suddenly put his butt on my leg and rip one. You don't see me spitting on him. From someone who had to leave an abusive 3-year-long relationship last year, I promise it only gets worse. Verbally, emotionally, physically, it will continue to get worse. Please leave it so miserable to be with someone that unstable. Spitting is a disgusting habit. Spitting in a pandemic is just idiotic and irresponsible. Spitting on your partner, the mother of your child, is unacceptable. It's over, start planning your exit, lar up and plan ahead. Fart good. Spit bad. Unforgivable. Is this the man you want your baby to grow up in a home with? So you married and had a child with a literal psychopath who you know has severe anger management issues. This is seriously insane. No woman with any sliver of self-worth would ever put up with this behavior. I would have already filed the divorce papers and kicked him out of the house. He assaulted you, shamed you for a natural bodily function, and verbally abused you. You literally followed him begging him to forgive you. You're toxic together. He's abusive. Do you want this life for your child? Man, fuck him. Acting like he doesn't ever fart. It's not disgusting, it's natural. By this logic, his asshole must be plugged and all the food and gas is just rotting inside him. Imagine the horrendous smell. Or does he think his fart sounds like Mozart and lets out rainbows and flowers and butterflies? He spit on you because he has no respect for you and his brain is that of a 3-year-old. He spit cause he viewed you as beneath himself. Fucking bitch. A fart set him off? He needs to see a therapist and get to the root of whatever anger issues he has. This is not okay. He started an argument and then spit on you for farting? If this was me, I'd leave. Farting is a normal bodily function and sometimes they come out of nowhere. Literally, no warning. To those suggesting couples therapy, that is a bad idea. It generally makes abusive partners worse as they feel they are being attacked as they are confronted with their bad behavior. Please leave and get out before this escalates. It will end you regret not leaving sooner. There is no excuse for his behavior. He chooses to be angry and abusive and it has all to do with him being a toxic person and nothing to do with you. Please don't become a statistic. Leave ASAP. Your relationship sounds just beyond toxic, obviously more on his side, who TF spits on someone, but it sounds like you have a lot of issues as well. At the least you need to get individual counseling. What's disgusting is his behavior towards you, not your normal bodily function. His behavior is so abnormal that I have to tell you, I doubted if you had made the story up or not. Farting in a relationship is something that most people chuckle about and move on from in 10 seconds. One does not go into hysterics about it. You were not rude. You were being abused by someone who is trying to make you think you are rude, apparently with some success. No, I do not think his behavior is forgivable. Even if he is clearly not in his right mind, it may not be his fault, but I think you should think about protecting yourself and the baby. Start by talking to family members about the situation at home. I don't think you should ever have to apologize for farting. It sounds like he's abusive, and if anyone ever treats you like that, especially when there is a baby in the house, they don't deserve to be in your life. You seem like a lovely person, and I think that you deserve better. He sounds like an awful human being. What a vile, nasty person. Do you want him getting angry at your child like he does at you? Because he 1000% will. He will say the same horrible things that he says to you, to her. Really think about that. WTF. Can barely believe this story is real. I'm 100,000% sure this person has shown red flags before. There's no way he out of the blue got furious over a fart and then spit on you. My bet is that he has anger management issues. I'd see if he's open to working with someone to sort those issues out, and if not, I'd personally not want to be with this person. Since when is farting rude? Fuck that. He is straight up abusive. Camels spit. Llamas spit. People don't spit. Is what I used to tell my 4- and 5-year-old children. I've never had to say it to an adult. This sounds like an unhealthy relationship.